Spirit warriors, listen up. Have you ever felt like the world's noise was deafening your soul? Like the critics' voices drowned out your truth so much that you started doubting your own power? What if I told you that the very moment you decided enough is enough, that's when your true power began to roar? Would you believe me? Welcome, chosen ones, to a transformational journey where silence becomes your sword, and your power is no longer up for debate. This is your moment, your awakening, your declaration to the universe: I am not here to shrink, I am here to rise. There was a time when they were buried under the weight of endless criticism. Every word from others felt like a dagger, cutting deeper into their confidence. The world told them they weren't enough. Too loud, too quiet, too ambitious, too soft, too different. But something inside stirred, a spark, a whisper of divine truth. One day that spirit warrior looked in the mirror and said, "Enough is enough." And just like that, the noise stopped. Not because the critics went silent, but because their voice grew so loud, so clear, so unshakable that the critics no longer had a stage. They took back their power piece by piece, reclaiming their divine right to shine unapologetically. You are the author of your story, the warrior of your path, and no one, not even the harshest critic, can steal your light unless you give them permission. How you can silence the noise and step fully into the power God has blessed you with. Stay with me until the end, because I'm about to reveal 7 powerful ways that will ignite your spiritual awakening, boost your confidence, and help you become unstoppable on your journey. As Rumi once said, the wound is the place where the light enters you. The critics and their doubts, they are the wounds that awaken the warrior spirit within you. It's time to let that light flood every shadow of doubt. So, spirit warriors, buckle up, because this isn't just a video, it's a call to arms for your soul. Stay awake, stay alert, and watch closely, because after this, you will never allow negativity to dim your glow again. Are you ready? Let's silence the critics and reclaim your power, starting now. Number 1, recognize the source of criticism. It's about them, not you. Criticism is something everyone faces, yet it often stings more than it should. The truth is, many times criticism doesn't really have much to do with you. It's rooted in the fears, insecurities, and limited perspectives of those delivering it. When someone criticizes you harshly or unfairly, what you're really witnessing is a mirror reflecting their own inner battles and struggles. Their words, sharp as they may feel, reveal more about their own fears and frustrations than about your actual worth or abilities. Understanding this can be a game changer. Once you see criticism as a symptom of someone else's inner war, it loses much of its power to hurt or derail you. Psychology supports this. Studies have shown that people often project their own insecurities onto others as a defense mechanism, especially when they feel threatened or powerless. It's a way for them to regain some control or feel superior, even if only temporarily. This means when critics lash out, they're often compensating for their own feelings of inadequacy or fear of failure. So, spirit warriors, the next time someone throws shade your way, remind yourself their opinions are not a measure of your divine power, your potential, or your true self. Here's a little humor to lighten the mood. Think of critics like noisy mosquitoes buzzing around at a summer picnic, annoying, persistent, sometimes distracting, but ultimately powerless against your spiritual bug spray. You're the one holding the spray, the power to stay calm, focused, and confident. No matter how loud the buzz, it doesn't break your flow or dim your light. Your journey is sacred, and no amount of external negativity can shake the foundation built on your faith, values, and self-awareness. So don't waste your energy on bitterness or defensiveness. Instead, use that energy to grow, to shine, and to rise above. The world needs your light, not your response to criticism. Remember, you are more than the sum of others' opinions. You are a spirit warrior, and your true strength comes from within, unshaken by the imperfect judgments of the world around you. Number 2, build a shield with self-love and spiritual affirmations. Self-love isn't selfish, it's sacred. This powerful truth is often misunderstood in a world that equates self-care with selfishness or vanity. But the reality is, loving yourself deeply is the foundation for living a fulfilled, purposeful life. When you start each day with affirmations that celebrate your God-given greatness, you're essentially forging an unbreakable spiritual armor. These affirmations are more than just feel-good quotes. They're a direct connection to your divine source and a reminder that you were created with unique purpose and infinite worth. Consider affirmations like, I am fearfully and wonderfully made, Psalm 139:14, or God's light in me is unstoppable. These aren't just words, they're powerful declarations that reinforce your identity in the face of doubt, fear, and criticism. Neuroscience shows that positive affirmations activate the brain's reward centers, boosting self-esteem and resilience. When you regularly affirm your value and strength, your mind rewires itself to recognize your worth, helping you shrug off negativity more easily. Imagine your spirit wrapped in a force field powered by angelic Wi-Fi. No negativity can hack it, no harsh words penetrate it. This protective shield doesn't just block external criticism, it also silences the internal voice of self-doubt. You become like a fortress, confident and steadfast, standing tall in the face of challenges. This sacred self-love is a spiritual practice that fuels your confidence and your ability to rise higher despite adversity. What's truly remarkable is that self-love doesn't isolate you. It connects you more deeply with others and with God. When you honor yourself, you respect your boundaries, nurture your growth, and attract relationships that reflect that respect. It becomes impossible to settle for less than you deserve because you recognize the divine light within you that commands honor. So start each morning with your sacred affirmations. Speak them with conviction, knowing that you are fearfully and wonderfully made. Let those words shield you like a spiritual force field, pushing critics' words to bounce off harmlessly. This isn't just self-love, it's sacred armor, a daily spiritual practice that empowers you to shine unstoppable in God's light. Number 3, turn criticism into your catalyst for growth. Criticism, whether harsh or subtle, can sting like a bee, but it's also one of the most potent tools for personal growth when you learn to wield it wisely. Instead of shrinking away or letting negative comments erode your confidence, why not flip the script and use criticism as powerful fuel to elevate yourself? Every piece of feedback, especially the tough stuff, holds a hidden gem, a lesson that can help you grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The key is learning how to sift through the noise. Think of criticism like a sculptor's chisel. Without it, the statue remains rough and unfinished. Constructive criticism especially highlights areas where you can polish your skills or broaden your perspective. For example, research from psychologists shows that people who actively seek and embrace feedback tend to outperform those who avoid it. They grow faster and develop a more adaptive mindset. So rather than feeling attacked, consider criticism as a roadmap pointing you toward improvement. But here's the catch, not all criticism is created equal. Some comments come from genuine concern or insight, while others stem from envy, misunderstanding, or even malice. That's why it's vital to filter feedback through your divine truth, your core values, purpose, and self-awareness. If criticism aligns with what you believe about yourself and your goals, it's worth internalizing and acting upon. But if it conflicts or feels toxic, let it slide off like water on a duck's back. Ducks don't sweat the small stuff, and neither should you. Holding on to harmful criticism only drags you down and wastes your energy. Using criticism as fuel isn't just about external validation or improvement. It's also a bold act of rebellion against doubt. Every time you transform negativity into growth, you declare that your worth isn't determined by others' opinions. You rise above fear, insecurity, and judgment, taking control of your own narrative. In fact, this mindset shift builds resilience, making you less vulnerable to future criticism and more confident in your journey. In essence, criticism becomes your secret weapon. It challenges you, shapes you, and ultimately propels you toward your highest self, if only you let it. So next time you hear a negative comment, pause, reflect, and ask, does this serve my growth? If yes, use it as fuel. If not, let it roll away. Your growth is your rebellion, your masterpiece in the making. Number 4, surround yourself with a circle of spirit warriors. No warrior fights alone. That's a truth echoed through history and deeply rooted in human nature. From ancient tribes to modern-day movements, those who thrive know the power of building a supportive tribe around them. Think of it like this: even the greatest heroes needed their allies. Alexander the Great had his generals, Joan of Arc had her followers, and today, your tribe is your spiritual and emotional fortress. It's not just about friendship, it's about surrounding yourself with people who uplift, inspire, and challenge you in healthy ways, those who push you to be your best without tearing you down. Why is building a tribe so essential? Studies in psychology consistently show that strong social support boosts resilience, reduces stress, and improves overall well-being. When you face setbacks or harsh critics, your tribe's positive energy becomes a shield, drowning out negativity and reminding you of your worth and purpose. It's like having a personal cheer squad combined with wise counselors who keep you grounded and motivated. Your tribe becomes a collective source of strength and accountability. They remind you of your sacred mission and power when you start doubting yourself. This is especially important on any spiritual or personal growth journey, because those paths can be lonely and full of self-doubt. Together you create a spiritual fortress, a safe, nurturing space where you can grow without fear of judgment or attack. But building your tribe requires intentionality. It's not about amassing a crowd, but finding those few whose energy resonates with your vision and values. Seek out those who inspire you with their integrity, passion, and kindness. These relationships should be reciprocal, where you uplift and challenge each other. Sometimes healthy challenges mean calling each other out on limiting beliefs or complacency. This dynamic pushes you forward, making your growth journey both dynamic and profound. Remember, a tribe is a source of light in darkness. When critics' voices grow loud, your tribe's energy grows louder and stronger. Together you stand firm, connected by shared purpose and spiritual strength. So, don't go it alone. Build your tribe wisely and watch as you transform challenges into triumphs and isolation into a community of unstoppable warriors on a sacred mission. Number 5, practice radical forgiveness and release. Holding on to hurt from critics can feel like carrying a heavy, invisible chain around your spirit. Every negative word, every harsh judgment, every sneer or sarcastic comment can weigh down your energy, distracting you from your true potential. Psychologists have long confirmed that harboring resentment or grudges actually drains your mental and physical health. Chronic stress, anxiety, and even weakened immunity are just some of the real consequences. So what if the key to freeing yourself lies not in confronting those critics or proving them wrong, but in a practice called radical forgiveness? Radical forgiveness isn't about excusing bad behavior or forgetting the pain. It's about releasing yourself from the toxic grip that bitterness holds on your soul. You forgive not for the sake of those who hurt you, but for your own peace, your own liberation. When you practice radical forgiveness, you're choosing love and understanding over anger and revenge. It's a bold spiritual move that opens a pathway to healing. Forgiveness creates a clear space inside where your energy is no longer wasted on resentment, but redirected toward growth and joy. Studies have shown that forgiving others can lower your blood pressure, reduce depression, and improve overall well-being. More importantly, from a spiritual perspective, forgiveness is a powerful tool to reclaim your personal power. Holding grudges keeps you stuck in the past, trapped in a cycle of victimhood. But forgiveness is a declaration. I am bigger than the hurt done to me. I am choosing freedom. This doesn't mean you ignore lessons or become vulnerable to repeated harm. It means you rise above the pain and take control of your emotional narrative. You stop allowing critics to have dominion over your inner peace. Instead, you align with divine energy that wants to bless you with abundance, creativity, and purpose. When your heart is free from bitterness, blessings flow more naturally, whether that's through relationships, opportunities, or inner peace. So, next time you feel the sting of criticism, remind yourself that forgiveness is not weakness, it's spiritual strength. Release the past with love and watch as your energy soars, your soul heals, and divine blessings find their way to you. Radical forgiveness is your key to freedom, power, and peace. Number 6, speak your truth boldly and consistently. Silence in the face of criticism can sometimes feel like the safer choice. After all, why add fuel to the fire or draw more attention? But here's the catch. Staying quiet often hands over the power to your critics. When you refuse to respond, doubts grow louder, not just in their minds, but in the minds of others who witness the silence. It's like watching a tennis match where one player never hits the ball back. Eventually, the crowd assumes the silent player can't or won't play. Speaking your truth boldly, even when your voice shakes, is an act of courage that can shift the entire narrative. Science tells us that vulnerability is a powerful connector. Brené Brown's groundbreaking research on vulnerability shows that when people witness authentic bravery, they feel inspired and often respond with empathy and respect. Your honest voice challenges the critic's assumptions and breaks the cycle of negativity. It's not about yelling louder or attacking back. It's about standing firm in who you are and what you believe. Think of your voice as a sacred instrument finely tuned by your experiences, values, and spirit. This divine instrument isn't just for self-expression, it's a beacon that lights the way for others who may be struggling to find theirs. When you share your story or defend your truth, you create ripples of empowerment. Your courage encourages others to step out of the shadows, to speak up and to claim their own space. Spirit warriors, remember that your voice holds divine power. It channels your inner strength, your wisdom, and your unique perspective. When you speak up, you're not just defending yourself. You're rewriting the story of what's possible. Each word spoken with authenticity is a strike against doubt, fear, and silence imposed by others. So next time criticism comes your way, don't retreat into silence. Embrace your voice, even if it trembles, and speak your truth with unwavering confidence. You're not just silencing the naysayers, you're inspiring a movement of truth and courage that uplifts everyone who hears you. Your voice is sacred. Use it boldly. Number 7, embrace your divine power with unshakable faith. Ultimately, the most powerful weapon against critics is your unwavering faith in the divine plan. When criticism hits, it's easy to get shaken or distracted by negative voices, but remember this, those voices are fleeting, while your spiritual purpose is eternal. Trust that God's purpose for you transcends any doubt, fear, or judgment that others might cast your way. This faith acts like an invisible shield, protecting your heart and mind from the sting of criticism. Faith in a higher power gives you a perspective beyond the immediate moment. Psychologists have found that people with a strong sense of spiritual purpose tend to exhibit greater resilience when facing adversity. Why? Because they see challenges not as roadblocks, but as part of a grander design. When you understand that your journey is guided by divine wisdom, the harsh words of critics lose their power. They become mere whispers, insignificant compared to the vastness of your calling. Walking in faith means you're anchored in something much larger than yourself. It shifts your focus from temporary setbacks to eternal outcomes. Imagine standing on a mountain peak. Critics may shout from the valley below, but their voices are swallowed by the wind. Your view is clearer, your purpose sharper. This spiritual confidence fuels your inner strength, allowing you to continue forward with grace and determination, no matter the noise. Moreover, your power doesn't come from human approval or recognition, it flows directly from the heavens. It's a divine energy that empowers you to rise above negativity and stay aligned with your true purpose. Many great spiritual teachers and leaders have demonstrated this. Think of figures like Martin Luther King Jr. or Mother Teresa, who faced relentless criticism yet stayed rooted in their divine mission. Their strength came not from pleasing others, but from unwavering faith in the greater good they served. So next time critics try to shake your resolve, remember that your faith is your strongest armor. Let their words pass through you like wind, while you keep your eyes fixed on the path God has laid out for you. In doing so, you'll discover a source of power that no human judgment can touch, because your power is divine. Spirit warriors, the power to silence critics and reclaim your divine authority was inside you all along. When you recognize that criticism is merely noise, build your spiritual armor with self-love. Turn doubt into growth. Lean on your tribe, forgive to free yourself, boldly speak your truth and walk in unshakable faith. You become unstoppable. This journey is more than just overcoming negativity. It's about awakening to your highest self, living God's purpose, and shining so brightly that no shadow can touch you. Remember, enough is enough isn't just a phrase, it's your spiritual declaration. Your power is your birthright. Own it, live it, and watch how the universe moves when you do. Stay awake, stay powerful, and keep walking the path of your spiritual awakening. You are destined for greatness, and no critic will ever dim your divine light again.